Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Family Sedan channel. Let me start this video by noting that I had absolutely no intention of putting out additional content on YouTube today. I'd already put out everything that I wanted to already. I touched on all the topics that I found to be the very most interesting, but something has happened. There are wild rumors which are absolutely unsubstantiated and just swirling all up on the Twitters and social media. And after reading just an untold number of comments, I finally was just like, okay, I got to talk about this. I need to address this. And there are a few reasons, so I'm just going to try. I can't, enough time has passed that I can't say I'm going to try and get ahead of this thing because already just from, I guess what you might call maybe the origin of this thing spreading like wildfire, just from that source, several 100,000 people have read this particular wild rumor, which is completely unsubstantiated. And then the amount of comments beyond that, untold numbers. I don't know. It's far-reaching. Let me just say that. So I'm going to try and squash some of this, and I'm also going to share with you perspective from a few attorneys within the XRP community, including attorney John Deaton. But the rumor effectively is that Ripple is going to be meeting with the SEC. It's a meeting that's supposed to be secret, but it leaked, and it's supposed to occur on May 8th. There's, so far as I can see, absolutely nothing to this. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. And so all sorts of crypto media outlets have picked up on this story at this point. Here's one such story from crypto media outlet U Today titled, Ripple SEC meeting that could change everything. Will it actually happen? Rumors about an undisclosed meeting between San Francisco-based blockchain company Ripple and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission have been swirling through the Twitterverse like a digital wildfire. Yeah, aptly put. The meeting is supposed to take place on May 8th. The speculation was sparked by a viral tweet from Blockchain Daily, which cites an unconfirmed source. It led to a frenzy of hope and anticipation within the XRP community. And here is the tweet in question. So this is posted at 12:01 p.m. today, May 1st. That's 12:01 p.m. Central Standard Time because that's my time zone. And they simply wrote the following. Just in, reportedly Ripple and SEC to hold undisclosed meeting on May 8th. Unconfirmed source. And they got a picture of Brad Garlinghouse standing there from an event. Well, again, I'm glad at least they put unconfirmed source, but it's just people talking on Twitter so far as I could tell. I didn't see anybody who might even, it's not like it was somebody working for like a news corporation or something like that. That perhaps would be different if somebody of, notable stature who has sources of it. Maybe it's a journalist or something like that. Well, okay. I mean, it's still an unconfirmed rumor, but at least it's coming from some sort of person that isn't just, living in their mom's basement eating Hot Pockets or something like that. I don't know, man. So John Deaton had some stuff to say about this. John Deaton wrote, I'm willing to bet this is false. The SEC lawyers and Ripple lawyers could meet any time they so desire. I don't think they would pick a date a week from now and then leak it out. And that was at 12:17 p.m. Central Standard Time. So John Deaton was there just sharing his very initial thoughts, 16 minutes after this post came out. And then, Blockchain Daily. Oh, actually, let me mention this before going further. So they have 25,200 followers. But you may notice right here, if you're looking at the screen where I'm circling, this thing was viewed 403,000 times. That is ridiculous. That's a lot of eyeballs on this thing, right? That's why I finally had seen how much conversation going on. I was like, okay, I gotta talk about this. I'm recording a video. So anyway, Blockchain Daily then retweeted what I just shared with you from John Deaton, and then separately, Blockchain Daily wrote, to be clear, we did not make this up. It's circulating around Twitter, which is why we put reportedly and unconfirmed source. We agree with John's opinion that it seems unlikely, but we are leaving it for completeness. We continue to support the XRP and crypto communities. Now, John Deaton's crypto law organization responded and was, pushing back around that concept and wrote the following. Crypto law Twitter account wrote, "Circulating around Twitter is your threshold for reporting something like this? You report items to leave them for completeness? That isn't responsible." And Blockchain Daily wrote back, because again, mind you, this is a crypto media outlet. So Blockchain Daily wrote back and said, "Thanks for your opinion. We clearly labeled it, and if it does end up being true, it is important. We will continue to update as the story develops. Furthermore, this had zero impact on the market, so people are getting very worked up over basically nothing." And then John Deaton's crypto law organization Twitter account wrote back and said, "If it does end up being true, it is important." So they're quoting that from Blockchain Daily. And then writes, "It is about as low a standard as you can have if you are a market-moving crypto and macroeconomic news site. Thanks for clarifying that." And that is how they describe themselves, as you can see on the screen here, on the Twitter account. And then Blockchain Daily wrote, "We think it is helpful for us to have reported this since we have let people know it is unconfirmed and we have given dissenting opinions and will continue to update it. It was already widely circulating around Twitter before we posted a tweet calling it unconfirmed." And so, folks, you guys can tell me what you think specifically about this portion of. I got more to share with you from attorneys, but including more from attorney John Deaton here. But I'll just say this. Having been in the community now for over half a decade, running this YouTube channel for over 4 years at this point, I've seen all sorts of bonkers, bat S-word crazy conspiracy theories and rumors. Like, I've seen it all, son. I've seen it all. I have seen stuff worse than this, but this is one of those ones that really just took a life of its own and really just started running, as you can see from the numbers on your screen here. So, look, I don't have a problem in a general sense with putting something out and saying, okay, we're hearing this is unconfirmed source. I don't necessarily have a problem with that type of thing, but who was even saying it? See, the thing in this particular case is, it seems like I don't know who patient zero is in this case. I don't know who the individual is that first stated this, but it's just some random person on Twitter, so far as I can tell, which is a little bit different than if there's just a rumor and maybe there's potentially something to it, or it came from a reputable source or somebody that could potentially be in the know of something. That would be a bit different. And so when stuff like this happens, look, I just like to live in reality. When stuff like this happens, I just push back against it. I mean, like, there are others out there that when stuff like this happens, what they would rather do is jump on the hype train with everybody else, because that sounds more exciting and rah-rah, and you can, maybe get a whole bunch of views on your YouTube channel talking to, woo, hype town outlet. But for me, the answer is no. I want to live in reality, and I think that there's enough awesome stuff happening within the XRP ecosystem that we don't need made-up nonsense stuff to be excited about XRP and our crypto holdings. That's how I feel about it. Reality is more than sufficiently interesting and incredible. That's the way that I look at it, as it pertains to XRP specifically here. Now, attorney John Deaton shared this additional information, and this was some hours later. So this was 4:13 p.m. today, Central Standard Time. John Deaton wrote, "This is not how a settlement happens." Because again, folks, the assumption is that this alleged meeting for May 8th would probably have something to do with settlement, right? And so John Deaton writes, "This is not how a settlement happens. First, I believe the only time a settlement occurs this case is after a ruling by Judge Torres, and that happens only if Ripple gets a big victory, so Gensler could save face and get a political win via settlement. Sorry, not going to happen." And I'll just note, I think that's absolutely correct. I mean, it would be wild to me if there was anything to this, because we don't even know who said this. We don't even know why this started, this rumor here. It would just be absolutely wild. I don't see it happening. And then John Deaton also wrote, "How is Gensler going to agree that ongoing and future sales of XRP are not securities and pursue Coinbase and others? Sure, he could try and thread the needle and somehow claim that XRP is like no other token after claiming that it was like others for over 2 years." So folks, think about this, because we know that it's an absolute brutal attack from Kim Jong-Gensler against all of crypto here, if he's trying to make the case that everything's a security, well, how does that work? How does that narrative work if you agree in settlement that XRP is not a security? So it does make it, I think Attorney Deaton, not surprisingly, hitting the nail on the head yet again. Why would Gensler do that even? At this point? I mean, this damn thing's almost over anyway. And then John Deaton also said, second, because of claims of market manipulation and insider trading, they wouldn't set a meeting and run the risk of a leak and influence the market. They would just meet and then come to terms, if they could, and then, and only then, would they report a settlement to the judge. This unconfirmed source sounds like someone was wanting to orchestrate a pump. And you know, that's possible. I mean, who knows what the motivation for something like this is, or orchestrating a pump for XRP. But I'll also say, and again, he could be right on that, but I'll also say that I've seen so many crazy assertions and so many rumors over the years, and I think a lot of it really just, and typically I think mostly what it is, it's just random people saying made-up nonsense, seeking attention, that type of thing here. And almost none of it ever does anything even close to impacting the price of XRP in any capacity. And in this case, it sure as hell didn't impact the price of XRP. So if that was the goal, then mission failed. I'll just say that. And then Attorney Bill Morgan retweeted that from John Deaton, and Attorney Morgan says, "Totally agree, John. I finally, reluctantly jettisoned my hope for a pre-judgment settlement when Bittrex was sued, and I realized that alleging Algo, that's Algorand of course, was a security when traded on an exchange was inconsistent with a Ripple settlement that allowed future XRP trading on exchanges." And then here you have Eleanor Turt, who of course is a Fox business journalist, responding to DAI asking, can anyone confirm this? Eleanor Turt wrote, "Not happening." And then somebody in the community named XRP66 wrote, "You sure? Give us hope, Eleanor," with a little smiley face. And Eleanor Turt wrote, "Twitter rumor mill is what I hear." Yep, and that's pretty much all that I think it is as well. I don't know who started it. I haven't seen anybody. If anybody knows, please let me know. But I haven't seen anybody articulate exactly here's the first person to mention such a thing, because Blockchain Daily, they're saying again, they're not the ones that started it, they got it from someone else. I'm willing to take them at their word, but who started it? Because I will tell you, it was their tweet that got this whole thing going, because they are an actual crypto media outlet, so they're writing about this stuff, and I think that them putting that out there made it appear as though it carries a lot more weight than perhaps the whole concept actually does. That's why, even though they have only about 25,000 followers, they got 403,000 views on this damn thing. It was retweeted a bunch, it was hearted a bunch, and so it ended up in a ton of people's news feeds. So, I don't know, I would love to know, okay, so they write an unconfirmed source here. Who? Who started talking about that, though? Who where'd this news come from, right? And I don't know if anyone knows, to be honest with you. I just know that this is what everyone's been talking about all damn day, and it's silly nonsense. So I just wanted to put out there my 2 cents on this thing and try to head this thing off. I mean, well, the damage is done, but I still wanted to say my 2 cents on this and hopefully kind of, squash some of this nonsense, because it just I see stuff like this and it just kind of gets me rolling my eyes. And nothing against Blockchain Daily, not at all. But I see our community talking about this, and I don't know that most people are buying into this, but still, I just kind of roll my eyes a little bit. So you guys tell me what you think, and if this actually is true though, and there is some secret meeting on May 8th, I will eat my words, and happily so. But I don't believe for a moment that is what is going on here. So you guys keep the conversation going below. I would love to hear what you guys think about all this stuff, but I'll wrap up. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Family Sedan.